Welcome. In this video I will show more commands that we can use in Linux, and these commands are going to be cp, that's going to be copy, mv, that's for move or rename, cat, that's going to print and concatenate content of files, less and more. Let's just have a quick recap for navigating the terminal. So pwd is going to be print working directory, ls is going to list our files and directories, cd is to change directory. Now I just changed into the Linux directory. This is a folder I created previously, and let's just see the contents. So this folder contains 10 text files and 5 folders. In the text files I put a text. Let's just quickly see with the cat command, and in this case we have the text content in file 1.txt. This is the content of file 1 and this is the same text in every single file, with the difference that they are referencing the file name. If I just quickly check file 2, that's going to say the same text, instead it's going to say it's the file 2. Additionally, the contents of the folder I'm just going to quickly show with the tree command. As you can see, here are the files. This is inside the Linux directory, and as a subfolder of the Linux directory, in folder 1 we have file 1 and file 2. These are just copies. I will just get on with the cp command. So cp is going to be copy, and it's simply how it works. We type the name of the command if we have any options, and that's going to be later on letter I, R or V. But first I'm just going to use it without any options or flags. We have the command, and after we have the source, that's going to be what we would like to copy, and the second part is going to be the destination. There is the place we would like to copy the file or folder to. Let's just copy file 3 into folder 2. And by the way, I'm just using the tab key to autocomplete to the text that I already have in the given context. When I say given context, that's the context in this scenario is the Linux folder. In that case, with file 3, I just typed file and the number 3, press tab, is going to complete to file 3.txt because there is the only occurrence in this folder. And the same thing with folder 2. Let's just get back to the cp command just quickly. So we have the command. This is going to copy file 3 into folder 2. When I press return or enter, this is going to copy the file. Let's just see. We can just ls folder 2. We're going to see the content of folder 2, and file 3 is in the folder. There are, as I mentioned, multiple options. I will just start with the I flag interactive mode, meaning that it will ask if I would like to overwrite a file if it already exists. So if I just want to copy file 3 again into folder 2 with the I option, in that case it's going to tell that do I want to overwrite file 3. In every occurrence in the terminal we can answer with the letter Y, that's going to stand for yes, or the letter N, that's going to stand for no. In my case I'm going to say no, because I don't want to overwrite the file, even though it wouldn't make any difference. The next option, the letter V, this is going to stand for verbose, so we're going to see what actually happens, what is copy command doing as it copies. What we can do with cp, we can copy multiple files. If we have, for example, 4 files that we would like to copy into a single folder, what we can do we can name multiple sources. In this case, I can just have file 2, file 5, file 7, and let's say file 9. All these files are going to be copied into folder 4. In this case, all these files are going to be the source, and this one is going to be the destination. When I press return or enter, we can see that it lists exactly what has happened. So file 2 was copied into folder 2 with the name file 2, and so on. The same thing can happen with the folders as well. So we can copy a whole folder into another folder. And for that one, we need to use the R flag. And the R flag stands for recursive. It's the same flag that we used in a previous video for remove. So this is going to do recursively, meaning it's going to start and copy every single file and every single subfolder that is contained in the destination that we're going to give. So since we already copied all this file into folder 4, let's just use folder 4. So in this case, folder 4 itself is going to be copied into folder 5. And I'm just going to use the V option as well. And we can just use these options one after each other. We don't need to necessarily have another hyphen. And let's see, when I press return, it's going to tell. So first, it copied the folder itself. So in folder 5, it created, it's copied folder 4. And the rest is just copied the content of folder 4 into the already copied folder 4 directory. So I just want to show this quickly. So if I press ls, folder 5, and yes, it contains the folder 4. And let's just see one level down what is in folder 4. And these are all the files that previously has been copied into folder 4. I believe this is what usually is being used with a copy, these three options. I want to go to the next command, and that's going to be the move command. It has a similar setup in terms of command. So, and this can be observed in every single command that you ever going to use, is if you have something with file manipulation or you have a source and destination, it's always you have the command itself, and after the source and after the destination. And of course, between the command and the source, you're going to have the option or options. So with move, we can do two important tasks, and one of them is actually just to move the file. Let me just show that. How does that work? So I want to move file 6 into folder 3. First of all, let's see what is in folder 3. Folder 3 is empty at the moment, so we can move file 6 into folder 3. And the difference is, if I compare it to copy, that if I list the files and directories, in that case, we don't have file 6 anymore here because we physically moved it. So there is no copy left. And if I just look into folder 3, we're going to see our file 6 in this folder. The other thing we can do, for example, if I want to rename a file, in that case, we're going to do the same. We're going to move file 4 into file 6. So what is going to happen file 4 is going to be renamed to file 6. So let's just double check. Previously, we were missing file 6 from these text files, but now we're actually missing file 4 because we renamed file 4 to file 6. And just to see, it's actually file 4. And yes, this is the content of file 4, but we renamed the file. The same flags can be used in this situation as well. We have the I flag, and that's going to be interactive, and the same thing with the V flag, and that's going to be verbose. I want to move on to the cat command. And the cat command stands for concatenating. In this scenario, it starts to read whatever we give it. If we don't give a file to it, this is going to read from the input that we write. So if I write hello, press enter, it's just going to tell us again because it is reading from there. And if we press Ctrl and the letter D, that's going to give the standard input an EOF, that means end of file. In that case, cat stops reading and is just going to return back to the terminal itself. If we would like to have, as I showed it previously, just to see what is the content of file 1, yes, it's going to give us because this is going to read from the file. And the same thing can happen if we would like to get more. It's the same idea that we had in the CP file. We can have file 1, file 2, and let's say file 3. And this is going to give us the content of all these files. One of the use cases that this can be used is we have file contents, as I just showcased it, and we want to put the content into a new file. Let's just do that. I can type a touch that's going to create a new file. Let's say combined files.txt, and just to see what is in this is an empty file, so it returns nothing. But I can write file 1, file 2, and file 3, and I'm just going to redirect this into the combined files, and this will get this content into combined files. So let me just press enter and let's just see what is in combined files. And yes, that's the content of all the 3 files we specified after the cat command. Another thing we can do with cat, if we have a longer file and we just want to know what line is a certain text is, we can use the N option, and this is going to give us the numbers. So it's going to be line 1, 2, 3. This is usually what cat is used for, but if we have a really long log file, let me just show you. I have created a file and I'm just going to copy this into this folder. If I just copy, if I press 2 dots, I'm gonna go 1 directory up, and I created the file in the log folder, and the file name is file.log, and I'm just going to copy it as such. So what does it mean? The dot is going to be the Linux directory, because a single dot means the current directory, and the slash is simply just, it's going to be in this folder. This is pretty much this slash that I'm referring to in this command. Let's just see, and we have the log file here, and I'm just going to use the cat command to see what is in the file, and you can see there are 1,000 lines. This is the date, but since we have all these lines, we would need to scroll back and this is not ideal if we would like to see the file. So for this we can use the less command, and the less command is going to give us a screen like this, what is in the file from the beginning. And there are ways how we can navigate this file. So if I press just return or enter, that's going to push us down by one line. If I press the spacebar, this is going to show us a new screen of content. And if we would like to see a certain content, it's similar if you ever used in the browser, for example, that find command, have a /, and I'm just going to write, for example, 76. And when I press enter, this is going to highlight and get us to the correct place. Press / again. This is going to get us the same. All the 76 is going to be highlighted. If we would like to go back to the previous find, we can just type the question mark, and that's going to do that. So / is going to be forward, is going to look forward, question mark is going to go back. And in this case, we can just quickly look and see if we have something we would like to know. This way, with this command, we can look for things in a file in a more convenient way, because as I just showed with cat, we don't have these functionalities. And there is the more command. The more command is a older version. It's a simpler command line tool, and this is the predecessor of less. So let me just show you. If I use more, with this one we can only go forward. We cannot go backwards as we went with the less, and it's simply just a space and the enter. And as soon as it gets to the end of the file, it is going to exit. And if we would like to exit ourselves, we can just press the letter Q, and that's going to exit the command. But most likely in newer releases, you will be able to use the less command. If for some reason you don't have less, you still can use the more command. For this video, this is what I want to show. And as always, for the rest, we'll get to it.